Welcome to the Mighty Emotions Podcast. I'm your host, Giselle. I'm a certified emotions coach, and I teach you how to respond better to your emotions so you can feel better in your life. My mission is to show you how to work with your emotions to become more emotionally resilient. Your emotions are not designed to overpower you, they're designed to empower you. On this podcast, I share what our emotions are, how to understand them and work with them, and the tools you need to reclaim your power and get unstuck from emotional pain so you can find fulfillment in your life again. I'm so glad you're here. Now let's get into the episode. Hello, beautiful soul. So today's episode is a quick one. I just wanted to hop on and share with you a couple of tools that I have found to really support an emotional well being practice. And what I mean by that is when we incorporate these tools into our daily lives, when we incorporate these tools into our self check ins, when we're tuning into how we're actually feeling, these are some things that I have found to be really, really supportive. Just three things. There's a lot more things, but I will do a future mini episode about that. So, the first thing that I suggest is getting a good pair of earplugs. And I don't mean earphones, I mean earplugs, a good noise canceling earplug. You can find them in your local drugstore. You can find them online. I found mine in a bookstore. If you're in Canada, Indigo. I found them a while ago. And it is so great to have a good pair of earplugs as part of, or to assist us, I should say, in our self check in practice. Because our unconscious mind, as you know, if you've read part one of my book, is that our unconscious mind is always on. It never turns off. And its job is to constantly absorb information. And not information just in words or symbols, but in sensory input. So sights, sounds, smells, anything we touch, textures, etc. Our unconscious mind is absorbing that information 24/7, 365 days, even when we're sleeping. So having a good pair of earplugs has helped me tune in and redirect my attention from the external stimuli, which might just be happening in the background, but redirecting my attention to my internal landscape, like hearing my heartbeat, really connecting and being present with my breath, not just from feeling the breath, but as I'm breathing, hearing it and noticing it and getting really, really intimate with it. Earplugs really help me do that. Even if I'm home alone, I live in a city, there's always, cars passing by or planes flying overhead. And it's in the background, but I'm absorbing it and it's just adding to this stimulation. And sometimes, well, not sometimes, all the time, every day, at least once a day, we should be checking in with ourselves. So I typically like to do this in the shower, when I have that privacy, which I'll talk about in a second. But when I can't do that, when I'm at my desk working and I need a moment to check in because I'm feeling really, really overstimulated, then earplugs come in so handy. I'm a mom as well. I have a young child, so when she's home, there's always, kids music going and toys playing and yelling mama mama, and there's stuff going on all the time. So having earplugs is what allows me to step out of my daily life for 5 minutes and to really tune into my internal world and get recentered and grounded. So highly, highly suggest earplugs. The second thing is privacy. Like I was saying, being alone with myself, being alone with yourself so that you can actually get radically honest and see what's going on in the inner landscape. I like the shower is such a moment of clarity, such a space of clarity for me, I should say, where I get to just be present for a moment, and the sound of the shower is very relaxing and calming. You'll also know going for walks in the woods is huge for me. I get so much clarity there. Privacy and being alone with ourselves brings so much clarity, and if we add in the earplugs when it's safe to do so, it's going to be an even more enriching experience because we're going to get to be really, really present in our bodies which, if you know the Mighty Emotions method, is the first very important step, one of the first very important steps, which is honoring our emotions. And we do that by becoming really present with our bodies. So if we don't have privacy, if we have stimulation all around us, if we don't have the time alone with ourselves, we're not able to really honor our emotions, right? But there are ways that we can just sneak these times in and steal these times, if you will. Whether it's, the 5 minutes I put in the earplugs, I close the door to my room and I just tune in with myself, or I go for a walk in the woods and I'm alone and I'm just present there. These are just things that we can do that don't require equipment, minus the earplugs, that don't require much equipment, that don't require a huge time commitment. It's just about the intention behind it, right? Stealing those few moments of time and getting to observe what's going on within us, the thoughts that come up, but more so just really being with our bodies, right? How often do you hear your breathing? How often do you hear your heart beating? How often do you spend time, rubbing your hands together, or, wiggling your toes and just noticing your body? If you look at babies, babies are so fascinated with their bodies. They're always like putting their toes in their mouth and playing with their hands and staring at their hands. And they just are so present with their bodies and so fascinated with them. And we kind of lose that fascination with our bodies. But having intimacy with our bodies is part of having a healthy emotional well-being practice, right? Because our emotions are communicating to us viscerally through our physical sensations. And so if we're not familiar with them, that's when we tend to panic, that's when we tend to run, that's when we tend to freak out. But getting familiar with them means spending time just really paying attention to them. And then the last little tip I will share with you in this mini episode is a solid floor. You're gonna be like, what, Giselle? I love laying on the floor so much. I love it more than sitting on the floor, and I really recommend laying on the floor more than sitting on the floor. In your house, out in the park, laying in the grass, it is so supportive. It is a physical moment of surrender. It is really a way that we can just let our bodies go, let the muscles relax and feel the earth, feel the floor carrying us and holding us. And it just reinforces this internal safety, right? I really suggest that when you combine all those things, if you can get privacy, you can get earplugs, and you can lay on the floor and just let the floor support you and release. Imagine you're just weightless. Imagine you're just, or not even weightless. Imagine that you're just sinking into the floor and letting it hold you. All these three things are going to cause you to really become grounded and centered in yourself. It's going to neutralize really high emotional energy. It's going to neutralize being triggers that you have. It's going to bring you back into the moment, and it's going to get you to a state where you're more open and receptive to seeing things differently, to hearing your inner wisdom, to just knowing that you're safe and that you're okay. Because when we approach life from that standpoint, our behavior is so different. How we respond to things changes, how we react to things changes. So that's all I have to share with you for this episode. I'm going to really make it a short one and suggest that this week you try getting some alone time, somewhere where you can lay on the floor and you put some good old noise canceling earplugs in. See, I'm so used to saying headphones. Put some earplugs in and listen to your heartbeat and listen to your breath and surrender your body to the earth, to the floor, and just see how you feel after. Do it for a few minutes. It doesn't take a long time. You could do it for 1 minute. You could do it for 5 minutes. You could do it for 30 minutes. You could do it however long you want. You could fall asleep. You could take a nap. right? It's just about trying it. Just try it and mix it in there. And when you get the opportunity to use these tools and to do these little tactics, I highly suggest that you take the opportunity because it's going to help you with honoring your emotions. It's going to help you feel a lot more at ease, a lot more peace, and it doesn't require a lot from you. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this little mini episode. I think I will be doing more of these where I just come and share like really quick tips and tricks. And yeah, if you enjoyed this, let me know. If you're a member of the community, send me a message or leave a comment on the post for this podcast. If you follow me on Instagram, send me a DM. I'm at mighty_emotions. And I can't wait to hear what you think about these. And if you have any questions or need support with anything, don't ever, ever, ever hesitate to reach out. I am here to support you. And I hope that you have a beautiful week. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. It would mean so much if you could subscribe, leave a review, share with your friends and family, and let me know what you think by going to my Instagram at mighty_emotions and connecting with me and letting me know what you loved about today's episode. It really means a lot that you support this podcast, and I love coming to you each week with a new episode. So be sure to subscribe, let me know what you think, and take care of yourself.